Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahabushai, Bahasham, Rakahakwadash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahabushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well, and peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Ra'aya with another video, and I'm going to start it off in Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight, everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And that isn't talking about the ancient Egyptians, the Mizraimites, who are of the nation of the Hamites, or the so-called Africans. This is talking about the modern day spiritual Egyptians. These Edomites are so-called white people. And the United States of America is a spiritual Egypt, as pursuant to Revelation 11 verse 8. And as it says, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight, everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be a second civil war in the United States of America, where you've got these red-blooded patriot Americans going against not only Edomites that they feel are turning against the country and against the Constitution and their ways of life, but you're also going to have them fighting against the U.S. government itself. And I opened up the video with this verse to preface a clip from the brother GMS Vegas Sit Down's 144K's YouTube channel titled, A Nation Divided, Patreon Veteran Edomites Ready for a Civil War. And as we'll see in this clip, you're going to see a bunch of Edomites who are patriots talking about how they're ready to go against the government, and they're also ready to go against their fellow Edomites, their fellow Americans, their fellow Egyptians, if they don't want to stand up and fight for the country that they see is falling down right before their very eyes. And as it says in Mark chapter 3, verses 24 to 25, a kingdom divided against itself shall not stand, and a house divided against itself shall not stand. We're living in the twilight hours of the United States of America, before all hell is about to break loose, and this place ultimately being wiped off the face of the earth by 200 million nuclear missiles, which is going to turn it into the biblical lake of fire from sea to shining sea, and then a desolate, uninhabitable wasteland out there. And I know you sincere Akim and Akwak know what time it is, but to you Israelites, or so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that may be coming across this video, or just coming across the Hebrew Israelites for the first time, hey, don't get involved in this civil war that's coming. This isn't our fight. This is the fight between these Edomites. And besides civil war in the United States, there will be a race war. And any of you jakes that want to cling under these Edomites, you're going to get put down for it. But without further ado, let's play this clip. And real quick, I do not own any of the footage or music in this video. This video is simply for educational purposes, and I don't stand to gain from it monetarily. This is a fair use copyright disclaimer. And I'm going to start the video at the 12-second mark because the brother opened up the video with Isaiah 19 verse 2.
Last I remember, we took the same oath to protect the same Constitution in the same country. If you come to anyone's home and tell them to get in their home and point weapons at them, you'll be pointing them at me first, because I will be standing in the way. Hope you got level 5. Bring your A game.
Hey guys, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here. I want to make sure we're using the same terminology. A civil war is a war between citizens of the same country. Yeah, we're not coming after our brown neighbors and our black neighbors and our Asian neighbors. No, we're coming after...
Which is BS. It's going to be a free-for-all out here. And it's also prophesied in the scriptures for there to be race wars. Isaiah chapter 13 comes to mind. And it says that every man shall return unto his own people, roughly paraphrasing, And anybody that's found outside their race in that day is going to be put down by the sword. And also, as Yahushua said in Matthew chapter 24, nation shall rise against nation, race against race, tribe against tribe.
For you corrupt politicians who have made untold fortunes telling us we should hate each other. Yeah, see, you fucked up. We're waking up out here, and we're coming together.
And that's not the right spirit out here. This isn't the time of people coming together. This is the time of division, hate, war, death, and destruction. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3. I'm going to start at verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born, and a time to die, a time to plant. The United States of America was set up and ruled the planet for a season, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. We're living in the times of the United States of America and this Edomite system as a whole, globally going down. And the only thing that's coming next is the kingdom of heaven under the children of Israel. A time to kill and a time to heal. And as we can see from the sentiment of those Edomites in that video, we clearly aren't in a time of healing. We're in a time of killing, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. And we're definitely not in the times of laughing and dancing. We're on the verge of food shortages globally, which is going to lead to biblical famines, fuel shortages, inflation, and then hyperinflation, World War III, which will go nuclear, etc., etc. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. And that Edomite in that clip said, hey, these politicians try to divide us, but we're coming together. But as we see in Ecclesiastes chapter 5, hey, there's a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. And we're in the time of refraining from embracing. Just look at the average person out here. They don't trust their neighbor. They really don't trust anybody. It's a cutthroat society out here where everybody's trying to get at how they live, get one over on somebody to benefit themselves. Verse 6, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak. And we're in the times of speaking the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai through his prophets, the men of the Lord, chiefly through GMS or Great Millstone, out on the highways and byways preaching this word, as well as putting up video epistles like this, speaking of the terrible times to come of Jacob's trouble, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. And with everything that's going on, do you think we're in a time of love or a time of hate, a time of peace or a time of war?
We're coming together.
Is it just me, or does anybody else think this is like getting totally out of hand? And if you do, what are you doing to prepare for it? What are you doing? Like, you know this, where this is going, right? I know, you know, a lot of people know. But what are you doing to prepare for it? Are you in a group? Have you joined somebody? Message me. Follow us on Clapper. We have a group there. We're in every single state in America. We are not supremacist. We are not racist. Ohio, Georgia. We really need y'all to step up.
Isaiah chapter 13.
Alabama, Louisiana's been really doing good. Florida, Texas, they're really jumping up there.
And notice how he's mentioning a lot of southern states. There's a movie that came out a couple of years called Bushwick, which I would highly recommend to you, Akim and Akwat, that haven't seen the movie. The premise of that movie is the southern states coming together and attacking the government. And the movie takes place in New York, and it's just a free-for-all in that movie. It gives you a glimpse of how bad things are going to look out here.
Come find me. Come find me on Clapper. Share this video before they cancel it, just like they have been everything else I've been doing lately.
Good morning. If you're fed the fuck up like I am, I need you to reach out to me. I'm going to organize people by county in their states. We will establish secure lines of communication, set up plans. I don't care if you're a civ, if you're a veteran, or if you're active. But some shit is start happening. I want to be clear. I am not calling for violence or destruction. I am calling for organization. We need to be ready, just in case it is necessary.
You'll be spitting out.
I'm gonna play, I'll start right here. Let me see. Yeah, I'll play this last bit at the beginning at the 3-minute and 47-second mark.
And I need to say it. To all of our active duty military, to all of our police officers, we love you. You're our friends, you're our family, you're our neighbors, and we will always have your back. But if you turn your back on the citizens of this country, if you turn your back on the oath you took, if you turn your back on the Constitution of the United States of America, then you will be strangers to us. It will be like we never knew you. You will be another obstacle in the way of our freedom, and you will be treated as such.
Hey, you are our friends and we love you, to those in law enforcement and other government agencies. But if you turn your back on the Constitution and the people of America, you'll be strangers. Hey, the Egyptians rising against the Egyptians, brother against brother. This is 2 Esdras chapter 6, verse 24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, such as during a civil war, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. That's it with that video. And I'm going to close it out in 2 Esdras chapter 15. I'm going to start at verse 15. And the sentiment that those Edomites had in that clip was going against the government. Verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another. And that one people standing up and fighting against another can go into a whole host of things. One race of people standing up and fighting against another during race wars. One class of people standing up and fighting against another. One political group of people standing up and fighting against another political group, such as in a civil war, etc., etc. And one people shall stand up and fight against another and swords in their hands. And the modern day sword, especially in the United States of America, is the gun. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men. And when you look up the definition for that word sedition, it means conduct or speech inciting open rebellion against a ruling authority or monarch, which is what we saw all throughout that clip. These Edomites saying, look, we're fed up of the government tearing down this country and the Constitution that we believe in. And so we're getting together and we're about to do something about it. And anybody that stands in our way, you're going to get put down. And invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. And your modern day kings and princes are these people in the government. Mayors, governors, senators, presidents, prime ministers, as well as the authorities that uphold the system, such as the police or the military, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So that's it with this video. And with this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong, as we can clearly see we're almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharala, and until next time, Shalom.